Talking to a seminarian friend of mine just before I came here, and he said, you should tell him a story about yourself, your vocation, and give him something to remember you by. And I thought about that. Then I said, no. I'm just going to talk about Jesus Christ, because that's the only thing I want them to remember me by, is that I talked about Jesus Christ. And that's enough. I've been studying to be a priest now for almost 10 years. Since I'll be 40 next month, so you can understand. No, I'm joking. I've been since I was 20 years old, but I've come to one principal conclusion in that time. I'm going to be ordained with one fundamental idea: that Jesus Christ is the only legitimate answer to the longings of the human heart. To be a human being means to live with an emptiness within all of us. That's something we all have in common. And that emptiness desires always to be filled. And that desire we call love. Now, there are two types of love that the human being can manifest: need love and gift love. Need love says, I love you so that you can fill my emptiness. I love you for me. Gift love says, I love you so that I can fill your emptiness. I love you for you. But the catch is, as human beings, we can only offer gift love when our need love is being satisfied. Kind of like a well. A well never gives of its own water. It always receives its water from another source before it can offer it. It's the same thing with the human heart. We can only offer love when we're receiving love from another source. And Jesus Christ is the source of all love. Jesus Christ is the only one capable of responding to our need love, because Jesus Christ is pure gift love. He's continually emptying himself in order to fill the deepest parts of ourselves. And that is why he is so forceful in today's gospel. Remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit. Anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and wither. Remain in me. He repeats that 6 times in his final discourse to his disciples. It's not wishful thinking or a romantic idea. It's without me, you can do nothing. It's life or it's death. It's bearing fruit or withering away. Just like a branch cannot bear any fruit unless it's receiving sap from the vine, so the human heart cannot offer gift love, the fruit of gift love, unless it's receiving the sap of divine love in the depths of its hearts, unless its need love is being satisfied from another source. But to do that, we must remain in Christ. And really, sin, when you think about it this way, the essence of sin is seeking human beings or seeking creatures of this world to satisfy the need love of the human heart, the deep emptiness of the human heart. Jesus warns us, I am the true vine. Anyone who does not remain in me will wither. When we stop remaining in Christ, when we stop looking to God, we begin looking to the things of this world to satisfy the deepest desires of our hearts. We become like the modern day Babel, trying to create our own heaven on earth within ourselves without God. We disconnect ourselves from the true vine, and then we become obsessed with finding a new vine to give us life, a new something to satisfy our deepest desires. To be honest, especially in the generation coming up, I believe that's why there's so many divorces. Because young people are coming into marriage looking for the other to be the complete answer to their desires. They go into the relationship expecting the other to satisfy their need love, and the other person can't. It's impossible. And so then they think they made a mistake or they picked the wrong person, and their life becomes filled with disappointment and resentment. Resentment is the first sign of a withering heart because it's no longer receiving the need love that it needs to survive. And that's when we begin pointing our fingers at somebody else, saying, you weren't there for me. You didn't give me what I needed. You didn't love me like I needed. And then we start closing ourselves off from the world and all those around us. But it's because we look to a creature to give us the love that God alone could offer us. Jesus Christ is the only answer to our need love. And if we understand that, if we live according to that by remaining Him, especially in our emptiness, we then become empowered to love everybody around us, even when they fall short of our expectations. That's the secret of Christ's love. He gives us the power to love in season and out of season, because we no longer are fully dependent on the love of those around us. He's like a crutch that always keeps us up, even in the hardest times. So whether it be a parent from our youth, or a spouse in the present, or a child, or a friend who has failed us, we can still love them. Our hearts won't become filled with bitterness or resentment or anger if they've fallen short of our expectation, because we're still receiving sap from the true vine. So the question that we must ask today, what do you do with your emptiness? Where do you go to receive life when you're feeling down? The average American, I was just looking this up, we look at our phone, our cell phone, 50 to 75 times every single day. I mean, the phones are good. There's nothing objectively evil about that. But that's need love. That's, I feel empty, I feel alone, and I need to reach out to someone else to validate my existence, to let myself know that someone else is thinking about me right now. And so we pick up the phone, we send a text, or we make a call. If that fails, we go on our Facebook. Who's following me right now? Who's liking my pics? And if that doesn't work, when we turn on the TV or we listen to music, we numb the pain. Anything to escape the experience of the emptiness of the human heart. We must learn to discover Christ in our emptiness. Every single day, 1,000 times a day, because that's where the true, authentic relationship with Him is built, in the emptiness, because our emptiness was made to be filled by God alone. Because He's the only one who can fully respond to the need love of the human heart. Because everything Jesus Christ is gift love. I love you so that I can fill your emptiness. That's the whole being of Jesus Christ. That's what He cries out to us from the cross. I love you so that I can fill your emptiness by pouring myself out for you. That's what He says to us every single time we come to the Mass. Take this and eat of it. This is my body given for you. Take this and drink from it. This is my blood poured out for you. That's gift love. That's what we're all longing for, because that's what we were made for. And if you recognize that, if you receive that, and if you remain in that every day of your life, then you too will come to see that Jesus Christ is the only answer to the human heart.